Hi, I'm Bilal Ghandour, and I'd like to welcome you to Therapy for All. This is a series, a mini-series of a short number of sessions of therapy to help you familiarize yourself with the process. For some people, it's complicated. For others, it's simply mysterious. And the purpose of this mini-series is to allow you to see how the process goes on and to see that it is perfectly normal, perfectly acceptable, and even interesting to go through the process of therapy. So hope you'll enjoy this mini-series. Well, Kim, I'm glad you're back, and I wanted to ask you if there was anything that came from our last meeting that you thought about or wanted to address in particular.
I've been thinking a lot about my friends, and like we're going to talk about why I'm choosing the wrong friends. I haven't gotten any new friends because, it's hard to find friends, I guess, and I guess that's all. Just kind of thinking about again, why people don't like me, and just really wanting to find that out. It's just I don't, maybe I'm just picking people that aren't very nice. I don't know.
Okay. Now you said you're picking the wrong friends. Do you accept that for a fact that these friends are not good for you, or you want to just want to explore if that's the case or not?
I mean, I don't. I give them whatever they want, and I mean, I'm really fun. I'm really fun, and people should like people that are fun. And they do like me, I guess. I don't know. It's just like it seems like they don't like me enough, or they're not as grateful as they should be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, shouldn't I find friends that could be more grateful?
Sure. That's definitely something that would feel much more rewarding than someone
Right.
who sort of lets you down when you've helped them. But last week you talked about enjoying being with friends because they're fun.
Right.
And I said maybe you should look into certain character traits in those people. And I wonder if you can think about it for yourself. What do you think draws them to you?
Well, I mean, besides, I'm really fun,
Okay.
and I feel like I'm really easy to get along with. I don't judge or anything like that, and well, I do stuff. I'll pay for people's dinner like a lot because some of my friends don't work that much or something, so I pay for their dinner like a lot, and so they want to come out with me because I pay for their dinner and stuff, and I lift them up a lot. Like I tell them how good they are and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think that's why. Like, I think that makes me a really good friend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that last part, I'll leave it on the side that you sort of lift them up. But one thing that I can tell you is that these examples are examples of things that are material. Sort of, you take them out, you buy things, and that could be awesome. But if you're thinking about long-term relationships, usually people are trying to find more substance. So probably one of the things that we'd be looking at is there a way you can attract others other than by being really generous? Do you think you have something to give to them that's more than just...
Well, I give really good advice. Like a lot of my friends will call and ask me stuff, and I can give really good advice on stuff. And like I like to talk to them a lot, and we have really deep conversations. And sometimes it's about like her boyfriend or something like that, and we'll talk about that kind of thing. And I give really good advice about that. So I think that's a good thing that I'm a friend for.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, like I don't judge, and I think that's really important because to be a friend to somebody, you have to kind of accept everything about them. And even though I probably don't really think what they do is okay, like I would never say that to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really important, being a friend.
Now you tell me you don't judge, but you judged them last week as being jealous. So how do you...
No, I don't think that's I mean, that just is. I don't like my friend who is gay. I don't judge him for being gay. I mean, whether or not I think he should be gay or he shouldn't be gay, I would never tell him. But I mean, when I say they're jealous, I mean, they are jealous. So it's not really like me judging. That's like saying, I mean, you do have brown hair. They are jealous, So, I mean, I don't think that's judging necessarily. I'm just telling you about them.
Okay, fair enough. What about an example of one of your particular friends that you feel sort of that's a typical example of somebody I thought was going to be a good friend, I've given them a lot, and then they turned their heads and left?
Oh. Okay, my friend Corey.
Mm-hmm.
She, I gave her everything she wanted. She was, at the beginning, it was awesome. We did everything together. Our boyfriends were actually friends, which was perfect. So we hung out all the time. And then just, I don't know, like out of the blue, she just stopped hanging out with me. And even though our boyfriends still hung out, she would never come around if I was there. And I didn't understand because I mean, I went out of my way to be friends with her, and our kids hung out together, and I would babysit for her anytime she needed me to. I gave her rides whenever she needed me to. I let her borrow my clothes. I did anything that she wanted, and she just was done with me. And I've tried reaching out to her, and it's just almost cold. She will not talk to me, and she won't tell me why.
What does she do to you? Why were you drawn to her?
Well, I mean, I guess because our boyfriends were friends. I mean, she was there. I don't know. I mean, she was all right. She was the same size as me, so it was kind of nice to have a friend, that's the same size because you can sort of share clothes. And we both had kids, which made it kind of nice. And I don't know. I mean, she was nice. She was cool. She liked to party. I liked to party.
Kim, one of the difficulties people have sometimes with maintaining relationship is that if they give too early to someone that they don't really know very well, do you find that it's possible that you were too generous and you were too kind too early without really knowing Corey?
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess. But I guess I just, I don't understand why people wouldn't want that. I mean, it seems to me that people want you to give them stuff and they want you to pour your life into them. I guess I don't understand why they wouldn't want that.
Yes, it's absolutely a fair question. One of the reasons is the way you can think about it is that there's a sort of magic circle around every one of us, sort of a space where we allow people to enter it. And for some people, although the end point of a relationship is to be really close and be very good friends and do things for one another, if that area is sort of quote-unquote violated too early or you give too much too soon, people sort of get a little confused and lost.
Okay.
So that's maybe one of the reasons why she might have been somewhat confused about your relationship.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can see that. I did do a lot of stuff at the beginning, especially like babysitting her kid. I did it all the time for free. And I mean, I thought that would make her want to be my friend more. But then she just kind of stopped talking to me, so I don't know.
So again, another situation where you're kind, you're generous, and then what happened? And one of the concepts that we talk about in therapy is that you cannot impose your generosity. I don't know if that makes any sense, or what do you think that means?
Well, I mean, I don't understand what that means. Don't people want you to be nice to them?
Yes, they do. But again, it's a question of when there is a timing involved in a relationship where for some people, and we'll talk about this, Kim, about yourself, the question is wondering why is it that you want to be this kind this early? Because you've given her a lot, and some of the things for free, and you don't feel she's reciprocated.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't guess I understand that. Like, I feel like I want to be treated that way, so I'm going to treat you that way. And it just doesn't seem like they ever treat me back that way.
She hasn't treated you back that way?
Well, I mean, she would keep my daughter here and there, but not like I did. I mean, I did it all the time. I did anything she wanted, and I guess I just was thinking I would do to her like I would want her to do to me.
Yes, but maybe she is trying to tell you that what you're doing to her, she is not ready to do to you. Maybe she's saying, you're moving too fast, Kim. You might be a good friend, but I don't know you very well.
But I mean, we were together all the time.
Right.
All the time. Like at the beginning, just like really sometimes like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I would have said she's probably one of my best friends.
So that's a little puzzling to me. You are with her a lot of time, yet you feel that she has not been able to give you something that is similar to what you do.
Well, no, when we were together, I mean, we were together all the time. I mean, isn't that what your best friend does? I mean, you're always together, so...
Yes and no, and the reason I say this is that, and oftentimes this is something we tell parents, is a lot of moms and dads say, I don't know why my teenage daughter is not nice to me, or this. I spend all my time driving them to places and doing this and doing that, and the answer is that the quantity of time sometimes doesn't really matter. It's really the quality. I mean, we all talk about quantity versus quality, but it's often the intensity of the conversation and the depth of a conversation that brings two people together. So is it possible that maybe you spend a lot of time together, but the actual depth of the conversation maybe remains a little superficial or just at the surface?
I guess so. I mean, I don't even know that we really talked. We kind of just hung out, partied, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I mean, maybe.
Okay. So that's kind of consistent with what you're saying. You know how to have a good time, you go out, but then for some reason there's a level of intimacy that needs to develop, that it's kind of not happening in terms of depth of conversation, and maybe that's one area you have to try to explore and understand why that's not occurring.
Okay.
So that can be a conversation for next week, trying to understand what is it that doesn't make it easy for you to develop this intimacy, that it's more kind of things that you want to do absolutely because you're generous, but it's not really working.
Right. Okay.
Okay?
All right.